Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, my question is to the Minister of Natural Resources and Forestry. Speaker, after 5 years, 4 ministers, many FOIs, and conversations with the Ombudsman, I finally received some information regarding the special purpose account. As you know, Speaker, the money collected from hunters and anglers' licenses, royalties and fines is to be used solely to improve hunting and fishing in Ontario. However, I was shocked to see the money collected from hunters and anglers was going to purchase houses and psychologists. Speaker, would the minister be able to explain to hunters and anglers of this province how buying homes and paying for psychologists improves angling and hunting in Ontario?
Thank you very much, Speaker, and I thank the member opposite for the question today. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank the conservation officers who provide enforcement for our hunters and anglers and programs throughout Ontario. Thank you very much. The member is talking about the special purpose account for our fish and wildlife programs. It costs about $100 million annually to pay for the fish and wildlife programs and services across Ontario. In 2015, the SPA, the special purpose account, gained $70 million, and that goes to provide fish and wildlife management activities across Ontario. Some of those pieces talk about monitoring fish and wildlife populations, fish culture and stocking, fish and wildlife research, management and planning, conservation officers and enforcement, draws and licensing activities, and hunter education to support that across.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker. Back to the minister. Speaker, the lack of transparency and details continues with this new minister. Speaker, each minister I've dealt with, 4 of them over the past 5 years, have tried to hide the truth about the expenditures in special purpose account. This summer, the Elmer District stakeholders received a response from the MNRF in regards to finding out details of the special purpose expenses in our area. The response they received from the ministry was they do not track expenditures for the Fish and Wildlife Special Purpose account. However, the Financial Administration Act requires that receipts and disbursements be recorded for special account purposes. We know they have the information for hunters and anglers. Speaker, will the minister now release the details outlining how monies from the special purpose account were spent and an explanation of how these monies have improved hunting and angling in Ontario?
Question. Thank you. I'm not going to ask him to withdraw, but the member was dangerously close to making an accusation that I cannot accept, so I would warn anyone after this point not to go down that road, please. Supplementary.
Thank you very much, Speaker. And again, I thank the member opposite for the supplementary question. Staff that is funded from the Fish and Wildlife Special Purpose account include but are not limited to biologists, scientists, conservation officers, fish culture staff, field staff and administration staff. Expenditures related to staff salaries and benefits are paid through the Fish and Wildlife SPA for those staff performing fish and wildlife management activities across Ontario. There are directives and guidelines in place that govern benefits and staff relocation entitlements when required. We have a process within the ministry to review each year program costs within the ministry and the Fish and Wildlife SPA. It costs about, again, $100 million to pay for the fish and wildlife, but yet that member, when asked to pay for an increase in budget, voted against that budget.